America's armed forces entered the war in 1964 to prop up South Vietnam. For almost 10 years, the American government supported the bloodshed, and it was not until 1973 that the troops were withdrawn from the country. In any war, women suffer, not only out of fear for their lives and the lives of their loved ones, not only from hunger and cold. They suffer because their physical integrity is violated by the conquerors. They consider a woman an object through which they can take pleasure and stop at nothing when they want to satisfy their whims. According to the recollections of eyewitnesses, the brutality with which the Americans treated Vietnamese women was beyond the dreams of even the Nazis. On their way, the Yankees ravaged every Vietnamese village. The inhabitants fled to the cities, barely managing to take what they needed. Former peasant women took any kind of work. They had to work in the so-called service industry. The Americans were very fond of having fun with women, and they set up brothels at every military base. The journalist said. But the soldiers were often bored of dealing with girls who willingly went for intimate relations. They wanted something hotter. And in the captured villages they behaved inhumanly. Abusing the villagers and then disposing of them made American soldiers ecstatic. The 5 of them could take one girl and satisfy their base desires. The destruction of the small Vietnamese village of Song My in 1968 shocked the world. Punishers killed more than 500 civilians there. Most of them were women and children. All the attractive girls before the shooting were forced to please the brutalized soldiers. After such a massacre of unarmed villagers, the commander of the Punishers, Lieutenant Kelly, was sentenced to house arrest, under which he spent 3.5 years. Many Vietnamese girls also fought against the occupiers. Their rights were supported by the state. Girls considered themselves equal to men and wanted to contribute as much as they could to the victory. Almost 1.5 million women provided medical assistance to wounded soldiers, served as radio operators, scouts, prepared traps for the enemy, fought in the underground. To be captured for the girls who fought was tantamount to going to the underworld. The Americans applied to them sophisticated torture and abuse. But all captured Vietnamese women went to their deaths with their heads held high in faith in victory. The Yankees, coming to Vietnam, were sure of a quick and easy victory. But they miscalculated. The locals were good underground fighters and partisans. They didn't show their opposition overtly, they acted stealthily. They used small booby traps. They made covert strikes on military bases. They attacked and exterminated small groups of soldiers. The Americans began to see every hut as a trap. And because of the danger at every corner, because of the humid, hot climate, they lost their mental stability. The Yankees began to completely destroy the villages in their path. They left scorched earth behind and spared neither women, old men, nor children.